I'd like to call back up to the stage our panel hosts for the Doing Business With panel. We have host Mr. ABAOC President, Mr. Manish Bardia.
So have a seat, everyone. We are right on time here. A few minutes back. We're gonna do the raffle a little later. So I have my panelists here.
Oh, you did?
Let me start with the introduction. All of you have a seat. Roger, have a seat. Pankaj, and Roberto, have a seat.
Sit down.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
You should be a good teacher. Sit down.
See, we have so much to learn.
As my 6th grade teacher would say.
Learning has already started. Yeah, so let me introduce our esteemed panelists here. I'll start with the rightmost seated Juan Williams. One is Principal Supplier Diversity Advisor at SoCal Gas, and one is responsible for championing the advancement of small and minority and underrepresented businesses. So big advocate for us and big supporter for ABAOC. So thank you, Juan. And
We're gonna get closer. We're too far apart.
okay, go ahead. Thank you, Juan, for your time. And I'm going to move to next, Carla Perkins. So Carla is Senior Advisor for Supplier Diversity at Southern California Edison. Carla's vast experience includes leading small business outreach initiatives and delivering government contracting support services. And Carla holds a master's degree in public administration and a bachelor's degree in political science. As a former president and CEO of Carla Mitchell Business Development Solutions, Carla has secured significant contracts, awards for her clients. So she has the knowledge of being on the other side on how to work with corporations and public agencies to get business. So we would like to hear some of that side of input. Looking forward to that. Next, I'm gonna move to Flora Mayer. Thank you, Flora, for being here. Flora is manager of supplier diversity at City of Hope. They have a nice campus in Irvine now, if you have not seen. With extensive experience in sourcing and developing supplier diversity programs, Flora is passionate advocate for building relationships with small and diverse businesses. Flora holds a bachelor's degree in business administration from University of Illinois at Chicago and is based in San Diego. Thanks for making the drive here. And lastly, we have Ted Newey with OCTA, Orange County Transportation Authority. Ted is serving as a senior manager at OCTA. Ted's dedication to enhancing transportation improvement projects and promoting diversity has earned him numerous accolades, including being named the National Diversity Professional of the Year in 2022. Ted, thank you for being here. So with that, if you want to add any single line about what I missed, then great. Otherwise, we'll start with the question. Yeah, okay, perfect. Thanks, Juan. So first question, why we should think about doing business with public utilities or corporation? I mean, we are small businesses here. ABAOC members are small businesses. Give your perspective on why small businesses should also think about working with corporation, public utilities, and non-profits. So, one.
Good morning. I think that corporations should consider working with utilities and public entities for many factors. I would start by saying that it's an opportunity to build, grow, develop, brand, and market. But then I would also say that doing business with a utility gives you an opportunity to catapult into other sectors of business, because the training and the deep mentoring that you receive from a public utility offers you a plethora of other opportunities. It offers you the ability to brand yourself. It offers you the ability to enter into those gates that aren't normally open for you. You have an opportunity to train at a level that will give you all of the skills that will allow you to be scalable and sustainable. But most importantly, I think that it offers you an opportunity to deliver good services that create a brand and reputation that supersedes you long after the project is completed.
Yes, so what I'll do is feel free to add to this question. I have enough questions. I'm talking to the panelists. We have enough questions for you to share more. So what we want to do is add value, but need not answer each question, I would say.
Okay.
But add on top of it. So I'm just talking like that. Flora, Carla, feel free to jump in anytime you want to add. But I'll just take one question at a time to the next panelist. And the reason is also want to have people also engage with us. So ask more questions. We have around.
I'm gonna just jump in then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, obviously you folks are here, for your financial well-being. So I would just, share what you're screaming with your beautiful green outfit. It's about the green, right? For example, Orange County Transportation Authority, most people know us as OCTA. And I'm embracing it. I love OCTA, but because the bottom line is the bottom line in that we provide $62 million worth of contracts and different awards to small businesses. That's a huge amount of money that's waiting for you folks. We've done our purchase orders of $18 million that small businesses that we rely on can tap into. So it's the bottom line is the bottom line. In addition to that, we're a great agency to work with or keep Orange County moving. Most people know us as OC Bus, we're the booth over there. But we also fund and help run, we run Amtrak service from San Diego all the way up past Santa Barbara to San Luis Obispo. We also fund the Metrolink commuter rail service. In addition to that, we are almost complete, probably to say almost complete, with the largest Southern California infrastructure project, and that's the I-405 improvement project. So by the end of the year, you're going to have 2 free lanes in each direction and 2 new toll lanes in each direction. And it's thanks to all of the businesses, large and small. Obviously, I'm emphasizing small businesses. Many of those small businesses are involved as part of subcontractors to the main primes. In addition to the freeway widening projects that we also have one in South Orange County from San Juan Capistrano all the way up to Lake Forest. And then we also have our first modern day streetcar that we are building from downtown Santa Ana to Garden Grove, and that will be complete next year as well. So it's about the green, about moving forward, and so we're really happy to be here to participate and engage with our small business folks, especially those that are underrepresented and diverse.
Thank you. Anything to add, Carla or Flora?
Yeah, I just want to add, and I know a lot of you share my experience, have my own business, but I have a unique background. I've worked in heavy civil transportation, worked in economic development for city. Utility is a completely different industry for me, but one thing I'll say that, Yvonne, raised all great points. All of our industries, we're never going anywhere. They're very critical to day-to-day lives. So they're all good entry points for a business interested in expanding their business. And, the stability's there. I know for Southern California Edison, we spent about $2.4 billion last year with small businesses. So there's tons of opportunity there for small businesses.
Thank you. Flora, anything to add?
The only thing I would add to that, to the green, it's all about the green. Specifically for City of Hope, we are a cancer treatment and center and for diabetes and life-threatening diseases. So we also have, we are taking care of patients, caregivers, and their families. So it's the passion that goes to such a great cause. So it's about the green, but you're also doing work for a great cause and a great mission.
That's a great point. It's not just about the business, but aligning with a great cause. So that's excellent point. Okay, so I'll go to Carla next, and then we'll go to the next panelist. But how businesses can navigate the procurement process and the requirement for the public utilities?
So first, I would say the first good step that you all made is everyone's here. Meeting at events like this, meeting colleagues, like my colleagues at the table today, that's a good step in identifying who the supplier, diversity professional at the respective utility agency that you're interested in doing business with. Also learning the procurement landscape, although we do have similar goals in obtaining contracts or doing business with small businesses in various categories, we do business differently. So learning how your prospective customer actually does business. That's one thing we all, have, we're organized differently, different. Vaughn and I were just, sharing different titles within our organization. So just learning how we all do business. And then also, each of us has an annual report. That's a good way to do research to find out, what's coming up, what's, our priority. And 9 times out of 10, where the money is going in the, years to come, that's where if I were a business, I would concentrate, my efforts in business development.
I think this reading annual report is such a great input. I was working with one of the prime, and they actually gave me that paragraph for saying that this is what we are looking for. So I thought one time that, oh yeah, I should be reading, but it's a reminder that I'm not doing that. So thank you.
Can I add to that? Can I add to what Carla was saying?
Sure.
I also want to just add to what Carla was saying. It's imperative that you understand the culture of each entity that you're working with. Oftentimes people come with the mindset of doing business as if it's just business as usual. But when you work in utilities, it's not doing business as usual because each utility has a different culture. The way we do business at SoCal Gas, while we may be working on similar projects, the technique, the style, the expectations are different, the payment terms might be different, the innovation might be different, but most importantly, the way you cultivate those relationships is differently. In some utilities, the business units look at small businesses with a frown, and others, they look at it with a smile. So it's your main objective in understanding the culture would be to learn what ideas or what techniques really drive home the whole concept of your project. I know for SoCal Gas, we have a lot of individuals who've been in their roles for 20, 30, 40 years. And so they may not think the way that you as a business think simply because they've been integrated and ingrained into that 40-year culture of this is how it goes. So your objective really should be to, one, get into their heads in such a way that they understand that there are different ways to do things and there's a different process that will allow them to have measurable and obtainable outcomes. But then it's also important that you stay on the good side, and in order to do that, you really need to get to know what drives them and what turns them off. And so I know that might not sound like an ideal path to go down, but in the utility sector, when you're dealing with individuals with that longevity and that tenure, it's kind of important because they can make or break the decision that drives home your contract.
I also wanted to share that, you don't necessarily need to wait for those opportunities. You can create those opportunities. And what I mean by that is that oftentimes, what we don't know, what we just don't know. And so if you folks have a great idea, a great service, and you communicate that and communicate it well to the key stakeholder or the key decision maker, you can make things happen. I've seen time and time again. One example I have is I have Gene Spinella-Lamar here, who was instrumental in creating opportunities called the Go, a project, Go Local project. And she's the reason why we have the OC Streetcar project that's employed hundreds of people and have helped provide funding for small businesses, because she created an opportunity as she saw it. So I want to give Jean Spinner Lamar back their credit for doing that. One person can and does make a difference. And she started a nonprofit, or to do some nonprofit work. So I want you all to go over there and to introduce yourself to her. But in addition to that, we're governed at the Orange County Transportation Authority by our board of directors. And who are the board of directors? They're made up of mayors and city council members, as well as all 5 supervisors, Orange County supervisors, and 2 public members. You know, one of them is Tham Nguyen, who has been an active member of the diverse community business and community leaders. So you folks can communicate with them directly, right? One of them will be here. The mayor of Anaheim will be here, and she's likely going to be on our board next year. So it's a good opportunity for her to hear from you saying, let's create more opportunities for small, women-owned, minority-owned businesses to get our foot in the door.
Okay. Great input on creating opportunity, and Mon, you mentioned about the culture. So I have a question back to panelists about, we can read the report on what's coming up. How do you understand the culture for an organization?
So you can start understanding the culture by beginning to attend events that we sponsor. A lot of times we have technical assistance programs, or we have meet and greets. We also have sessions whereby we have a program called the Supplier Diversity Champions. And those are individuals that represent every aspect of the company. Right now we have about 50 individuals in that program who are either managers, directors, procurement agents, or simple individuals that just work with the purchasing of goods and services for the company. Those individuals agree to meet with people just like you. A lot of times they attend events like this, and they work side by side to help you understand what it is they're looking for, who they are, what types of projects they're working on, and what types of services the company is looking for. You can also understand the culture more by simply embracing the idea of when you receive an invitation from someone at one of our utilities, accept it. A lot of times individuals don't come to anything except for when they find out there's an RFP. And that's just not good, because out of sight is truly out of mind. And I'll be the first to tell you, I don't know you. And I can look at you with a smile and tell you, I don't know you, because I really don't. I meet tons and tons of people, and I always tell them it's important that you follow up, because your follow-up will allow me to introduce you to other individuals in the company that can really drive home your opportunity. I never hear from them,
Okay.
ever.
You want to add anything, Carla?
Yeah, I just want to say I'm glad that Vaughn knows me now. No, relationships are key and very important. And, at SCE, we have about 53 advocacy groups that, we partner with, like ABAOC, and financially support. So going to events like this, you'll be able to see and gauge, where, our support is in the community, and build relationships. 9 times out of 10, I probably see, Vaughn, Roger, a lot of my different colleagues at these events, I don't know, a couple times a month, literally. So I see them probably more than my family. So I say that to say that, building relationships, learning the culture, that's very, very important in doing business, because people do business with those who they know and they have a relationship with.
Yes, ditto. Relationships are so important. I think connection, and that's why we are all here today, to, at the minimum, say hello, introduce yourself, get to know us. We are supplier diversity representatives, and it's my role to advocate for you, to help introduce you into our organization, a complex organization, and sometimes where I find it challenging for myself to know who does what, where, but I am here as an advocate on your behalf to help you do that. But I think it's very important to make those connections, get the introductions going, and then do the follow-up, as Vaughn said. That's very important. whether it's one time, couple of times, by email, by phone, in person, attend these events. There's an event tomorrow. The Southern California Minority Supplier Development Council is hosting an expo, which is another great opportunity to meet other corporations and agencies and such. And I also want to say, just touching upon a little bit about, how to navigate through an organization. It is something that requires some patience. It is something that requires follow-up, and it is something that you definitely want to learn a little bit about from the internet, from Google, City of Hope. There's lots to information there that also really gives you a flavor of who we are in terms of what our mission is. Again, compassion all throughout everything that we do.
In addition, I love everything that you all said about relationships. So relationships gets you in the door. So what happens when you open that door? It's really a lot of hard work. And the key is to prepare for your proposals, because everything that we do through the procurement process, so once you figure out, the process, for us it's OCTA.net. There's a big tab for how to do business with OCTA. There'll be specific examples of how to navigate our agency, and we do the big and medium-sized contracts through a procurement process that's fair. So we rely on those proposals. So you need to spell out to us in words, but more importantly, by through stories about how your business can impact us and help us deliver change and the absolutely all the essentials that we need. So you have to spell it out and make it easy for the proposal readers to understand what is it that you do and then how you can help us. So spell it out in written word, in graphics, in charts, so that we understand how we can work with you. And I think that's so key to everything. It's a really competitive process, but don't be discouraged. You learn from that, and we are more than willing to sit down and go through your proposal. And it's the public record of all proposals, so we can share with you the winning proposal. So there's a lot of different tactics that you can use to score that big win, and we are cheering for you.
Excellent input here. I want to recap a few of them for the audience. So a couple of times it was mentioned, attend events, and I have been attending, but I'm now realizing how important it is to be at the event and meet people. Follow-up is another thing mentioned. All of you mentioned that. It's going to be hard work, and you need to actually be proactive on reaching out to them on any ideas you have, any suggestions you have, work with them. I think it's a collaboration thing we are talking about. Of course, the path is a little tough. So 2 action items for you. First of all, do make sure that you are signed up for the newsletter or the ABAOC portal, because what I will do along with Jeff and the board is to recap and share some information like Ted was mentioning, and all of you have that resource available publicly, but we will share that in form of newsletter. And then the next action is, if you're ready on all with these steps, then you can see on your table back of the card that the next event is BizMatch, where we will actually let you tell what your capabilities are, and we'll ask the buyers what they are looking for, and then we'll match you with them based on your capability, and they're asked to sit down with them for like 5 to 10 minutes, so you can do one-on-one meeting on how to do business with the public utilities and agencies. So yeah, with that, we covered a couple of questions, so I'm gonna move on and ask Flora about, Flora, I guess you already touched base about the relationship. So in terms of identifying opportunity and positioning them for getting contracts, how can they start with City of Hope, and then we'll go around?
Sure. So now City of Hope has acquired Cancer Treatment Centers of America, so we are no longer just Southern California based. We also have Atlanta, Phoenix, and Chicago, so a little bit more of a broader reach. it all begins really, we're aligned with the sourcing organization, so I work very closely with the buyers who manage probably about 40% of our total spend. There's another side of that where, as all healthcare hospitals use group purchasing organizations, GPOs, so another percentage of our total spend goes through a Vizient. If you're not familiar with Vizient, that might be another avenue for you to look into. Vizient brings in suppliers, diverse, non-diverse, small suppliers under their umbrella. And so then you are vetted and ready to go for companies, hospitals, distributors such as City of Hope, Cigna, and Kaiser, and you can name them all. So that's another avenue. But in terms of how to connect with opportunities at City of Hope, I would be your first stop, and I would take your information, get your capability statement, what is it that you do, what is it that you can do for City of Hope specifically. Help me in understanding where do you fit in at City of Hope. Is it HR, is it marketing, and even within those areas, what specifics do you fit in? And then from that point, then I help you navigate and get you to the right stakeholder within City of Hope to make that initial introduction. There may not be an opportunity currently today. However, 6 months from now, things change and people come and go and new administration comes in and we reorganize, we've restructured, and so there's an opportunity. Maybe we're no longer happy with the vendor that we have and we're out to market to see what else is out there and we're ready for a change. So sometimes it's about timing also. If you're at the right time, when that opportunity happens, so it's important to do that follow-up from time to time. But definitely reach out to supplier diversity, whether it be by website or our email inbox, or reach out to me directly. Then I will help introduce you to internal stakeholders. Another thing to keep in mind, but don't rely just on me, if you know people that work at City of Hope, if you have any relations with anyone, use those relationships to connect with other people. Just simply ask, who would I talk to at City of Hope about such a service? And they might even direct you back to me or elsewhere. But if you have any relationships within a company, definitely leverage those relationships.
Thank you. So I'll next go to Carla, but good thing Flora you did was here, you're identifying, you're highlighting how to identify opportunity, how to work. Also you said keep in touch, follow up, build relationships. So Carla, with you, tell us how we can, how businesses can look out for opportunity and then how they should showcase and keep in touch. Cover these two.
So I'll tell you from two perspectives, my Edison perspective and then as a small business owner. So Edison perspective, make sure, very similar with City of Hope, get in touch with myself or my colleague, Dennis Thurston, who will be here. He's out this week, but make sure you get in touch with us as Supplier Diversity. We would be one of your first lines of entry, but there's also other ways. Make sure that you're registered, of course, through the clearinghouse. Also make sure that you're registered in AREBA under Southern California Edison, so that if a buyer that I may not have known has an opportunity coming up, they're able to find you and actually send you a solicitation. And also relationships, that's another way. Making sure that, I don't think that we can echo enough building relationships, going to events like this. Normally I would have a procurement professional here with me, but I will actually tomorrow at the SCMSDC event. And so that's one thing that we've actually started doing is we try to make sure that we have someone from the procurement team that actually is there that can speak to the upcoming opportunities. I can, actually, help a business get ready and make sure that you have your certifications or information needed. But the procurement team will actually know what's coming up on, in their pipeline or actually even with someone else. Now, from a business perspective, I would say make sure that, the follow-up is key. Do your research. It took me about a year. And so, my clientele, when I had a business, primarily they were federal contracting, right? And so it literally took me a year to continue to follow up. I didn't harass, but I just made sure that I followed up with the contract professional to find the opportunity. One thing that I did, and I'm not suggesting that you have to do this, there's various procurement research tools out there. I think like a lot of business development companies, they have GovWin, GovTribe. You know, I actually invested in something like that for myself. So I was able to, you know, get a snapshot overall of the upcoming procurement opportunities. And my first contract that I had was actually an 8A direct award. It was just me, by myself, in my company. But over the, I would say about 7 years that I did it, COVID, you know, actually happened, and I didn't, you know, want to continue travel, but I did about $33 million by myself for all of my clients. So I say that to say that, you know, just stick to it, you know, continue to follow up and just be patient. You know, a lot of times, like you see that, you know, there's not necessarily always one, but we have a lot of travel. You know, like Vaughn just got off the road. We were just talking about our schedules going to the next event. You know, we'll definitely follow up. We'll definitely schedule meetings. So just make sure that you touch base often and just be patient. And also make sure that there's a value add. Make sure that, you know, if it's not a one size fit all. So the capabilities that you market to SoCal Gas or City of Hope or Edison, you know, they may not necessarily need to be marketed the same way. You know, make sure that you're solving a problem for each of your customers, and make sure that they're actually, you know, your customers actually buying what you are selling. So.
If I can add.
Yeah, go ahead.
So let me just ask, how many of you in the room are actual members of ABAOC? That's not enough, first of all.
Yeah. You have half the room signing up to them.
Yeah, you gotta sign up first and foremost. And I say that because oftentimes Manish or someone from the ABAOC will call us in advance and say, what opportunities do you have so we know who to properly match for our next event? But they don't know who you are, so they can't match you with anyone. That's an opportunity missed. The next thing that I would say is if you are with the opportunity to attend an event, when you get in front of someone, the first no-no is, what can you do for me? Because I don't know about everyone else, but Carla and I are pretty sassy, and we'll say, I don't know, tell me. So I say that to say that you need to do some research in advance and bring some innovative ideas to the table and know what business areas we really need. And I say that additionally because of the fact that I attended an event some months ago, and every supplier that I met with was a staffing company. I said, all right, it's a staffing day, okay. But what it dawned on me was the fact that a lot of the individuals in the room, they never took the time to do the research to see where our company was in terms of staffing needs. Because had they done so, they would have realized that we had a VMS tool and that they needed to go through that vehicle. Another opportunity that I had to meet with individuals was at an event in Las Vegas. And the suppliers who came up to me, this is a whole different way. They came to me, they said, I looked at your annual report, but I also went to your website and I realized that you have some major construction projects going on. I'm not looking for a major construction project because I don't know your culture that well. Can you assist me in navigating to a smaller contract? I appreciated that because one, he knew the culture, he knew the need, but he knew that he wasn't up to scale yet he still wanted an opportunity to get involved. So utilize those types of nuggets to figure out where you fit in the puzzle. Oftentimes suppliers have no clue where they fit. And it's because they don't do the research, they don't know the culture, they don't know the supplier diversity folks. For me, at SoCal Gas, is Ann Mashiri and Victoria Lenito at this table here. But I put that all into perspective because at the end of the day, I can only lead you so far. And it's totally up to you where you really want to land. Oftentimes people don't have a roadmap and they've not sat down to write a roadmap. And without a roadmap, you're just going in circles. You need some sense of direction, and it's a part of your job to create those opportunities for you. And that opportunity on your side is writing out that roadmap. Put some goals, put some vision out there. Market yourself digitally. Get on LinkedIn. Sell yourself. Make sure that people know who you are, what you do, and how long you've been doing it. And if you know you've only been doing business for 2 weeks, for crying out loud, get some experience under your belt. Because a utility is not going to take a risk on a 2-week supplier. You have no background, no history, and no references. So come with some of that in hand. If you don't have that in hand, tell us in advance so that we can guide you and get you ready for that contract. And that will take you a lot further than just going around in circles until you get fed up and frustrated, when all you have to do is create that roadmap or seek the guidance to get you there.
A lot of good nuggets here. Ted, go ahead, wrap it up, and we'll have.
So, though you folks are the sassy one, we are the saucy ones on this side. So, we are saucy. So I wanted to share with you some of our secret sauces to winning contracts at OCTA as well as other transportation organizations. There's actually a couple of other, though I'm not in the procurement team, we're just doing a lot of heavy lifting for them. They're down about 3 employees. We've had record number of procurement opportunities, and so they're just swamped. So that's why I'm here. So I'm going to be connecting you with them, and then with some of our new hires that are coming on board. But a few of the other great organizations to be well aware of is, in the transportation family is WTS. They're a great organization, so be involved with them. Go online, WTS Orange County. Another one is Mobility 21, is a great organization that covers not only Orange County, but the Inland Empire, San Bernardino, LA County as well. So those are some of the secret sauces. In addition to going online to OCTA.net, we're always advocating for partnering with each other. So though you may only be 2 weeks out, you can leverage your experience by the value that you bring with another business that has more experience. Provide value to them, and you can network and connect with each other. We had a great example of that about 1.5 years ago, where we connected a Latinx-based business with a Vietnamese-American business, got connected together, and they won a large contract with us. So it's about those community connections that happen organically, or we can be the impetus to make that happen as well. Come visit us at the booth. We've got Evan, our summer intern, a longtime resident of Irvine, but is a student at Emerson College in Boston this year. And then we just hired an extra help person who was our last summer intern. Patty Morales is here as well. So raise your hands. So thank you. These are the young people that are going to make a difference and change our world. So thank you guys.
Sounds good. So I'm running out of time, but 2 questions I want to cover in a rapid fire manner. So 1 word answer mostly from each of you. So what certification we need for OCTA for a small business?
We don't have a necessary certification, but if you would like to be certified as far as a diversity business, it's through Caltrans. So we have great partnerships with Caltrans.
And we at City of Hope, we accept any and all certifications. You name it, we accept it.
Southern California Edison, and I know Vaughn is probably going to echo the clearinghouse. There's multiple certifications, so just make sure that if you fit into various categories, make sure that you get certified in all those categories, because depending upon where we are with the goal, you may fall in a different bucket.
And those goals would be LGBT, WBE, MBE. It would also be service disabled veteran, persons with disabilities, service and 8A, and certified by SBA. All those are reciprocal certifications to the California Public Utilities Commission. So if you fall in any of those categories, fill out your paperwork for the CPUC. It's free.
Yeah, thank you. I guess the last question I had was more resources, what you have, but I would say that I'm going to skip that, and you will be able to visit them, meet them in person. They have booth here, more information at the booth. So just 1 question I'll take from the audience, and then we'll thank our panelists. Okay, one question.
First of all, thank you all. That's very informative that you guys have given us. For me personally, I'm an absolute newbie in the business world as well as in my own profession. Just retired from my day job. So everybody talks about certification. So what is certification? How do we go about it? And where is it really bringing bang to the buck?
Actually, I wanted to say that we will help you on that. I mean, that is ABAOC thing.
I was just going to say ABAOC can help you, but certification, you can go to www.thesupplierclearinghouse.com for utilities. There are 32 utilities that are regulated and investor-owned that fall under that category. Certification will allow you to open up other doors. It allows you to open the doors to free mentoring, free training, free development, free entryway into meetings such as these, but it also allows you and affords you the opportunity to build and grow your business. You said you're new, congratulations on retirement. Now the fun begins for you. 2 weeks in, we're vibing. I will say to you that there are a million plus training programs between all of the utilities out there that will help you from back office to HR, to finance and accounting, to marketing and development, to branding, to building who you are, to getting yourself out there. But the one thing that I will say to you is, even without certification, it's important that you're not just in the room, but you're working the room.
Yeah, and with that, that's a great answer, and more information can be found on, I guess we don't have DGS here, but yeah, I guess with that, I would like to thank our panelists for the time. Thanks, Juan, Carla, Nora, and Chad. Let's just take a quick picture. We have a flag for you, so just give me a second.
And I'm looking forward to the Women's Inspiring Panel. That's the reason why I'm here. I'm so inspired by these amazing women in this audience, so thank you.